Good morning. Today we will be discussing moral development theories. I am Juliana Francine Armen Salvas.
I am Jenny Rose A. Ramos.
I am Angelica Mamaklay.
I am Angelica Palangos. I am Marshall Terganilla.
I'm Janelle Tumibay.
Okay, ano nga ba ang moral development theories? So, ang moral development theories, na-explain niya kung paano ba yung isang individual, how they gradually learn para ma-distinguish kung ano ba ang mali sa tama as they grow older. So, in early childhood, yung mga moral decisions natin are often driven by external consequences. So, yung mga children or yung mga bata, they may avoid misbehavior para lang maka-escape sa isang punishment or to gain some rewards. For example, a children might not take a toy kasi they fear on being scolded or baka sila mapagalitan kasi kinuha nila yung toy. Or, for example, a student that might help a classmate kasi they are expecting something in return. So, tutulungan kita kasi gusto ko, may gusto akong makuha sa'yo pabalik. So, eventually, in adolescence and adulthood, yung mga moral reasonings na to, they become more internalized and principled. So, yung mga tao, they start making decisions based sa empathy, sa fairness, and sa universal and ethical values. So, pinipili nila kung ano ba yung tama, not because of fear or being rewarded, but because they genuinely believe sa justice and compassion. So, hina-highlight nito yung progression kung paano ba yung moral understanding ng isang tao ay mas nagdi-deepen over time, moving from external control to internal conviction.
So today we will talk about Jean Piaget. He is a Swiss psychologist who studied how children learn the right and the wrong. So Piaget believed that children do not just copy rules. Instead, they learn morality through interactions with people around them, like the parents, the teachers, and friends. So for Piaget, the idea of justice, what is fair and unfair, is the center of moral development. So to understand how children think about fairness, Piaget told them simple stories. So for example, here is a child playing ball inside the house. So he accidentally broke a lamp. He then asked the kid, so what is a fair punishment for you? So based on their answer, Piaget discovered two stages of moral reasoning. So the first stage is heteronymous morality. So which usually happen around the ages 5 to 9, and at this stage the children are rule followers. The rules come from adults and they believe that the rules cannot be changed. So they follow the rules to avoid punishment, not because they understand the intention. So example here is, imagine one child breaks the 5 plates accidentally and another breaks 1 plate on purpose. So a younger child might say that the first one is naughtier because they broke more plates, even though it was an accident only. So this shows they focus on the outcome, not the intention. So the second stage is the autonomous morality. So it usually around ages 9 to 10. So here, children begin to understand that rules are created by people and we can change rules if everyone agrees. So they value the fairness, cooperation, and also the intention. So example is, if a group of kids agrees to change a rule in a game to make it fair for everyone, the older children might say, this is okay, this is all right. So they focus on intentions and fairness, not the blind obedience only. Limitation of Piaget's theory is, although Piaget's work is important, it has also some limitations. So he used a small number of children in his studies only, so the results are hard to generalize. So some modern researchers also found that children can show advanced moral thinking earlier than Piaget suggested, still, his theory remains a strong foundation for understanding how the children learn right and wrong.
Dito naman po tayo kay Kohlberg stage of moral development. Dito po, sa may Kohlberg stage of moral development is, dito po sa may theory na to ay nagpapakita kung paano umunlad ang moral reasoning ng tao habang tumatanda. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang po tungkol sa paggawa ng tama kung bakit natin ito ginagawa. The first one po is, sa level 1, ay pre-conventional morality. Pre-conventional morality is the first stage of moral development where children see rights and wrong mainly, terms of punishment and reward. Dito po sa first level po na to, yung bata po nagde-decide kung tama o mali yung based sa punishment. Ibig sabihin po nito, dito po sa may pre-conventional morality, kapag yung bata binigyan ng punishment, isip nila, mali yung ginawa nila. Then, kapag naman po binigyan sila ng reward, sa isip po nila, tama yung ginawa nila. Kids ask, will I get in trouble or will get something good? Yun nga po, iniisip po nila kung yung gagawin po nila, kung pag binigyan po sila ng punishment, ibig sabihin, yung ginawa po nila ay mali. Then, kapag naman po binigyan sila ng reward, yun, tama po yun.
Okay, so stage 1 naman, which is the obedience and punishment. So, ang main idea dito is kailangan kong sundin yung mga patakaran para hindi ako ma-punish, okay? So, yung mga children dito or yung mga bata sa stage na to, naniniwala sila na yung isang bagay ay masama dahil nagli-lead siya sa isang punishment. So, hindi nila iniisip or they don't ask if it's fair ba or kind. They just want to stay out of trouble. So, for example dito, si Miguel nakakita siya ng isang cookie sa table. And he is very hungry at that time. And he really wants to eat it. Pero yung nanay niya sinabi na no cookies before dinner. So, ang iniisip ni Miguel, pag kinain ko tong cookie na to, magagalit si mommy and I'll be punished. So, he decides not to eat it, not because naniniwala siya or naiintindihan niya yung rule na yon kung bakit hindi siya pwedeng kumain ng cookie before dinner. Pero, natatakot siya na he will get scolded, kaya hindi niya ginawa. So, if his mom wasn't around, Miguel might still eat the cookie. Pero yung fear na na-instill sa kanya because of the punishment is what stops him from doing so. Not the idea na yung gagawin niya ay tama ba o hindi. So, para lang siyang for the Heinz dilemma. For example, sa story ni Heinz, si Heinz ay gusto niyang magnakaw ng medicine para ma-save yung sick wife niya. So, yung mga bata sa stage 1 would say, hindi dapat gagawin or hindi dapat ginawa ni Heinz yung pagnakaw sa medicine kasi stealing is bad and he'll go to jail. So, mas nagfo-focus sila sa kung ano yung magiging punishment ni Heinz and not the reason kung bakit gustong magnakaw ni Heinz. So, for stage 2, which is the individualism and exchange, ang main idea dito is I'll do something good if it helps me too. So, gagawin lang nila yung isang bagay kapag meron silang makukuha pabalik. So, yung sa stage na to, yung mga bata, they start thinking about fairness, but in a way na nagbe-benefit sila. So, magfa-follow sila ng rules or susunod sila sa isang patakaran or tutulong sila sa iba, but only kapag may makukuha sila na something pabalik. For example, si Ella nakita niya yung kaklase niya na nagsistruggle sa pag-carry ng stack of books. So she decides to help. But she didn't do it just because naawa siya or gusto niya talagang tulungan si Ella. Pero ang iniisip niya, kapag tinulungan ko siya, baka bigyan niya ako ng snacks. So, Ella is doing something good, pero yung reason niya is to get something in return. if she knew her classmate or if alam niya na hindi naman magbibigay si Ella kasi madamot, hindi naman niya tutulungan si Ella. So this stage is like making deals. So kapag tinulungan kita, dapat tutulungan mo ako pabalik. So ang Heinz dilemma, for example dito, a child in stage 2 might say, dapat hindi magnakaw si Heinz ng medicine unless mabait yung nagbibigay ng drugs sa kanya. So they're thinking about kung paano ba matitreat or kung paano yung magiging trato ng isang tao kay Heinz. If the druggist is rude, dapat hindi niya tutulungan dapat hindi niya tutulungan yung druggist by paying. Pero if the druggist is kind, Heinz might deserve kindness back. Parang may discount or may free medicine dapat. So in summary, ang pre-conventional morality is the first way of children kung paano sila matututo kung ano ba ang tama at mali. So sa level na to, hindi nila iniisip yung mga rules as something that helps everyone. They think about kung ano ba yung mangyayari sa kanila. Will they get punished? Will they get rewarded? That's what their guides their choices. So sa stage 1, yung mga bata dito, fina-follow nila yung rules kasi they are afraid of getting in trouble. So they believe something is wrong, kaya siya nagli-lead sa isang punishment. Parang si Miguel kanina na ina-avoid niya yung cookie only because he doesn't want to be scolded or mapagalitan ng nanay niya. And sa stage 2 naman, yung mga bata dito, they do good things kasi gusto nila may makukuha sila pabalik. So they think about fairness in a personal way. So ang example natin dito is yung si Ella helping her classmate only because she know na may makukuha siya pabalik kay Ella. So in short, ang pre-conventional morality is all about self-interest. Ina-avoid yung punishment para makagain ng rewards. So yung mga bata dito, they aren't yet thinking kung ano ba yung tama para sa lahat. They're thinking about kung ano yung tama para sa kanila. And I think that's okay kasi it is the first step in learning kung paano ba tayo makakagawa ng mga good choices.
Okay, so let's proceed to the level 2, conventional morality na kilala rin bilang low art supreme. Sa level na ito, people start following the rules not just because they scared of punishment, but because they believe na importante ang kaayusan at expectation ng mga tao. So we have 2 stages here. First one is the good interpersonal relationship. Ito, people do the right things kasi gusto nilang magustuhan sila ng iba. Ang moral decision nila ay nakabase sa approval, praise at acceptance ng mga tao around them. Kaya tinatawag itong good boy / girl orientation. Para iniisip nila or may mindset sila na ay kailangan kong maging mabait para magustuhan nila ako. Ay gagawin ko ang tama kasi gusto ko makita nila na good person ako. Sa halimbawa nito ay kung magiging honest si Shaina at gagawa siya ng mabuti, mamahalin at irerespeto siya ng mga ito. In short, sa stage na ito yung mga gumagawa ng tama para magustuhan sila ng iba. Maintaining the social order. So dito, mas lumalaki na ang pananaw ng tao. Ginagawa nila ang tama dahil gusto nila mapanatili ang batas, rules at kaayusan ng society. Kaya ito ang law and order orientation. Ang mga taong nasa stage na ito ay naniniwalang dapat sundin ang batas. Dapat gampanan ang tungkulin at kapag hindi sumunod ang lahat, magugulo ang society. So, sa Heinz dilemma, ganito
ganito ang reasoning nila. Mali ang pagnanakaw dahil against the law ito. Kapag lahat ay magnanakaw, mag-choose o magugulo ang society. So in short naman nito ay gumagawa ng tama ang sali dito sa stage na to para masunod ang batas at ma-maintain ang peace and order.
Okay, in the level 3 is the post-conventional morality abstract principle of justice and rights. Dito, in this level, it's more focused on the common good and the universal moral principle. Sinasabi dito na it is more challenging level than other level. Why? Because dito, nagka-characterize na yung individual by growing from entire society that they may obey rules. Eto na nga, papasok na nga dito yung stage 5, which is yung social contract or the common good. Dito naman, yung people is na begin to recognize the laws and the social rules based on the agreements and between individuals. And the agreements can be sometimes changed to improve society. So, dito, bakit nga ba yung social contract is mas higit pa sa batas? So, simple lang yan. Kasi tayo nga 'di ba, lahat ng bansa may kanya-kanyang batas. Pero sa yung Pilipinas may batas, yung China may batas, yung Amerika may batas, pero sa pagkakaiba ng batas natin, we have to agree on one thing na mas important. So, yun nga yung common good. Kung ano ang ikakabuti ng karamihan, yun yung susundin natin. For example na lang, yung SDG or yung Sustainable Development Goals. Yan, mas ano pa yan sa batas, masigit pa yan sa batas. Pero yung SDG, hindi yan batas. Yung SDG ay may 17 goals, di ba? Yung 17 goals na yun yung guide natin or yung to-do list natin para for the sake of the entire humanity. Yes, may iba't iba tayong batas, pero lahat tayo nag-agree doon. We have to create the sustainable futures for the next generations. So, ang social contract ay responsibility at common good sa karamihan. In short, there are things na mas kakabuti pa kesa sa may batas. So, yun lang yung sa may stage 5. Dito naman sa may stage 6, yung universal ethical principle, dito naman yung individual is mag-a-act according to their own moral principles, even if this conflicts laws and social rules. Dito lang yan, ang keyword natin dito is konsensya. Kasi tinatawag nating universal yon dahil nga lahat naman tayo may konsensya, di ba? Dito ang definition natin is tama at mali. Yung tama at mali na yon is magre-rely yon based on our konsensya. Kapag yung konsensya mo is sinabihan ka or bumulong sa isipan mo na gawin mo to kasi tama yan. Kahit labag pa yan sa may batas. For example na lang, may anak ka, pero yung anak mo may sakit. Ikaw, wala kang pera, tapos ang naisip mo is magnakaw ka na lang ng gamot para sa ikakabuti ng anak mo. 'Di ba? Yung pagnanakaw is mali. Siyempre, mali ang pagnanakaw. Pero, sa may universal ethical principle, masigit pa yon. Dahil nga, nakadepend nga yung tama at mali sa may konsensya natin. Siyempre, dahil magulang ka, gagawin mo ang lahat para mabuhay lang yung anak mo. Pero, kahit nga labag sa kalooban mo yun or sa batas yun, is you rather think yung itithink mo na lang yung anak mo na okay lang na ganun kahit makulong ako. So, therefore, dito, ang mag-a-action sa'yo is yung konsensya mo. So, in short, people always base on the abstract moral principle to apply in the entire society. So, yun lang, ang pinaka main point natin dito is konsensya natin is always nag-a-act dito.
So, moving on to the last one, which is yung Gilligan stages of moral development. So, Carol Gilligan is an American contemporary psychologist who has been recognized for her dedication on the areas of women's moral psychology. So, basically, yung theory ni Gilligan, Carol Gilligan, focuses more on women, kung ano ba yung mga moral development and moral dilemmas na na-experience ng young girls. Unlike sa other theories like yung kay Kohlberg, mas nagpo-focus yung mas nagpe-favor sila sa men. And more specifically, mas sinesenter or in-emphasize ng theory ni Gilligan's na ito yung morality of care, responsibility which stresses on compassion, relationships, and self-sacrifice as well. Like Kohlberg-Gilligan's theory comprises 3 levels, so merong 3 levels and 2 transitions na nangyayari dito sa my stages of moral development ni Gilligan. So, first level is pre-conventional. So, yung primary concern dito is yung selfishness. We all know kapag selfish ang isang tao, mas inuuna niya yung sarili niya over someone. So, for example, yung seatmate mo is walang baon, and then ikaw meron. Instead na bigyan mo siya, ay sasolohin mo lang kasi nga selfish ka. Then nagkakaroon ng transition kapag na-realize mo na ang pagkakaroon ng paki sa ibang tao ay mas maganda kaysa maging selfish ka lang. So, yun po yung pre-conventional. So, for the level 2, conventional naman siya. Yung sinecenter nito is yung self-sacrifice. For example, you are an older sister. Give up mo yung own education mo para lang sa mga kapatid mo para makapag-aral sila. So, that is an example of self-sacrifice kasi mas inuuna mo sila over yourself. And then, nagkakaroon ng transition kapag, ito na yung pangalawang transition na kapag pag na-realize mo ulit na mas magandang unahin mo rin yung sarili mo dahil isa ka ring tao na nabubuhay sa mundong ito. And then, lastly, the post-conventional, yung final level, ang sinasabi lang naman dito ay matuto tayo na wag saktan ng ibang tao and yourself as well. And because tayong lahat ay pantay-pantay, walang kulang and walang nakakalamang.